join operation is the extension of Cartesian product. So in Cartesian product, we know that it has a drawback that not forcing equality on those attributes which are common, and that's why it gives some wrong result, and that's why we additionally required to add this predicate in the Cartesian product. So the natural join is a binary operation that allows us to combine certain selection and Cartesian product into one operation. Certain selection and Cartesian product in one operation means what? The natural join operation performs the Cartesian product of two argument relation, okay, forcing equality on those attributes which are common in both the relation and remove the duplicate attributes. When we perform the Cartesian product, what happens there? Instructor.id and teachers.id, two different attributes we see in the result. But here it shows each single time. It removes the duplicate attribute. So that is the simple definition of natural join. So the natural join operation forms a Cartesian product of two argument relation, perform a selection forcing equality on those attributes that appear in both the relation, and finally remove the duplicate attributes. Okay. So this is the result of the previous query. In the previous we have seen select star from instructor comma teachers, and then we add one predicate where instructor.id is equal to teachers.id. So that predicate not necessary to add here because it automatically force equality on those attributes which are common in both relation, and here id appears only once instead of twice. It appears only once, means it remove the duplicate attributes. So that is the natural join. We are going to see some examples. This example, whatever we have seen, we can use it with the simple Cartesian product also. Okay, the same example we can solve it with the Cartesian product also, not necessary to use the natural join always. Or to simplify the Cartesian product, we can use the natural join operation. So list the name of instructors along with the course ID of the courses that they taught. So in the first we need to identify the attribute that we wish to appear in the result. Which attribute we wish to appear in the result here? Name of the instructor and the course ID. Okay. So we wish to appear in the result name and course ID. For this query, we need to write select name comma course ID. Now, which relations are required here to evaluate the query? That we need to identify next relation. So, here to solve this query require two relations, that is instructor and teacher. So, the query is like this if we use the Cartesian product and if we use the natural join. Same query in Cartesian product. Okay. How we write it? Select name comma course ID from instructor comma teachers where instructor dot id is equal to teachers dot id. And when we write it with the natural join, not necessary to add this where predicate. Why? Because it automatically forcing equality on those attributes which are common. So that is the use of natural join. So this is the common statement for natural join. Select A1, A2 to AN from R1 natural join R2 natural join. In this way the number of relations. If there is any other predicate, you can write here in the where clause. Means if we want here the name and course ID of the instructors from the computer science. So I need to write here where department name is equal to computer science. So in this way, if there is a predicate, so where clause is optional. That is the natural join operation, and we can say the difference between the Cartesian product and natural join operation. Another example. Okay, now we move towards the next, that is rename operation. So the SQL allows us renaming the relation as well as renaming the attributes using the as clause. Not only the relation, we can rename the attributes also with the help of as keyword or as clause is used there. So here, suppose we want to display monthly salary of the employees or the instructors. So the query is like this: select ID, name, salary divided by 12. If it is an annual salary, divide by 12. It shows the monthly salary. So what is the result of this query? Here, ID, name, and instead of salary, in the original relation of instructor, salary attribute is there. Instead of that, this salary attribute is renamed as monthly salary, and it displays the value which is divided by 12 with the original value. So that is about the rename. Simple example. We are going to see one more example where we need to rename the relations also. What is the statement here? Find the name of all instructors who have a salary greater than at least one instructor in biology. See, find the name of all instructors who have a salary greater than at least one instructor in biology. Means here we need to compare salary with salary. Correct? We need to compare salary of all the instructor with the salary of biology department instructor. So when we compare same attribute with each other, then it is difficult to identify whether it is from the original relation salary or we are looking for the biology department salary. So it creates confusion when we compare salary with salary. See, again, for this to solve this relation, what we need to do? We need to compare salary with salary. All instructor salary with the salary of biology department instructor. So when we do such kind of thing, it is difficult to identify whether it is a salary from the original relation or we are considering the salary for biology instructors. So in that case, we can rename the relation. We can rename the relation. So the query in this case will be like this. Select, distinct word is required here. No, distinct is required. Name of the instructors who have a salary, not necessary actually. Select name, from. Now we need to compare instructor with instructor, salary of instructor with salary of instructor, and that's why from instructor, first instructor I call it as a T, and second instructor I call it as a S. Means I have renamed the instructor relation and T and S. I rename the instructor relation as T and S. So here the name of first relation is T and the name of second relation is S now. So we can directly compare where T dot salary is greater than at least one instructor, correct? At least means T dot salary is greater than S dot salary. Is that predicate is finished here? No. This salary, this instructor salary, it is from which department? Biology department. So from S, which department we consider? Biology department only. So and S dot department name is equal to biology in single quote. In single quote. Now name is from both the relation. So here we need to use the prefix. Either we have to use the T or whether we have to use the S here. See, here the name is from both the relation that we are retrieving or we are displaying. So whether we are going to take it from T or S, T, we want the result from first relation because we are comparing or find out the instructor whose salary is greater than S dot salary. Means here we need to use prefix T dot name. Now see in this way. So distinct word is used here in the book. Select distinct T dot name. It is possible that multiple courses taught by the same instructor. So that their name appears multiple times. And to avoid that, distinct word is used here. So from instructor as T and instructor as S and the remaining query. So in these cases or in this way, for this example, we need to use the rename operation. Or in this case also, if you want to rename the attribute, resulting attribute, we can use the rename operation. Now, the next one, that is string operation. So SQL allows us, as I told, that it is a case sensitive language. SQL is a case sensitive language, and that's why the string biology B is capital in your whenever you insert, B should be capital when you retrieve the query. When you update, whatever you did, B should capital. Use it when you insert the value in the table, in the department table. So SQL specifies string by including single quote. It is always included in the single quote in this way. Okay. The SQL standard specifies that equality operation on the string is case sensitive. And that's why computer science is not equal to this one. Why? Because here C is small, here C is big, here S is small, here S is big. And that's why if we try to perform this expression, it evaluates to false. It gives a false result or error may occur. And that's why it is a case sensitive language. Space also consider. If you have written here the space, then here also you need to write the space. That also considered in the SQL. So SQL allows a variety of functions on the character strings as concatenating. We can concatenate two strings using this symbol, concatenation symbol. Extracting substring means computer science and engineering is given, and from that we want to extract only computer. So extracting the substring, it allows finding the length of the string, then converting string to uppercase with the function upper S, where S is the string, then convert it into the lowercase using lower S function, removing spaces at the end of the string, and so on. So many functions are provided there. Some of here mentioned. Now, how the string works or how to recognize the string or the patterns in SQL, that we are going to see it with examples. Now, in SQL, string matching operator, here how to match the string, for that the like keyword or the like clause is used. Like keyword or like clause is used along with two special characters are used. Which are these two special characters? Percent and underscore. Percent and underscore. The first percent character matches any substring and underscore character matches any single character. So see with example, then it will be clear to you. Suppose I write here in single quote, then percentage. What it indicates that? It matches any string where we started with intro. After that, percentage means whatever. It is a substring. It is used to match any substring. So it matches any string which start with intro, means for example, introduction to biology, introduction to computer science. So in this way, whatever the string where intro word at the initially intro word is there, whatever the after, it matches. Another, suppose I write here, okay, in this way. COMP is there, percent. So it matches any string which contains the substring COMP, comp. So I can say this one also it matches. Why? COMP is there. Computational mathematics. I write suppose computational mathematics, then COMP is there. Computer science and engineering, COMP is there. So whatever the before that or whatever after that, no matter. But if there is a COMP as a substring, then it matches that string, entire string. Now suppose I write here, now underscore. It matches any string with at least 3 characters. How many characters there should be? At least 3 characters. For underscore is used to match any character. At least 3 characters. So all these comes under or this. At least 3 characters. Suppose I write instead of this, what it indicates? Exactly 3 characters. No percentage is there, means it is not a substring. Exactly 3 characters. So it matches any string with exactly 3 characters. For example, I write CSE. So it matches that string with exactly 3 characters. And this match is done with the operator like. So we are going to see the examples here. Whatever I have told, that is here. Patterns are case sensitive. Intro matches any string beginning with intro. In this way, it matches any string with COMP as a substring. Before that, after that, whatever characters. Matches any string exactly 3 characters. Matches any string at least 3 characters. Minimum 3 characters. Okay. So SQL express patterns by using like comparison operator. For example, suppose we want to find the name of instructor whose name includes the substring DAR. Whose name includes the substring DAR. So in the result, what we wish here? The name of instructor. So the relation required is name. Instructor. Select. So the simple query is like this. Select name from instructor where, okay, now we need to use like operator here where we are going to find it name, and what is given here? Include the substring DAR, means before that whatever may be there, after that whatever may be there. So name like percentage DAR percentage. Okay. So when I execute this query, what happens? It gives name of all instructor which includes DAR as a substring. So that is one simple example of pattern matching. Suppose find the name of all departments whose building name include the substring Watson. What is given here? The name of all departments whose building name include the substring Watson. So select department name from department where building like percentage Watson percentage substring. That is about the simple string operation. Now see, if the pattern includes the special characters, then percentage, underscore, slash, whatever we have written. If for the patterns to include the special pattern characters, we need to specify the escape character there before that. So here it is given. Suppose we want to find out AB percent CD. So percent is a pattern character. So how to recognize that this percent is not a pattern character, it is a normal character. It is a normal symbol, not a pattern character. It is a normal character or normal symbol. We want to find out the substring which beginning with AB percent CD. Means percent is here normal character, not the pattern character. Now how to identify this? For that backslash is used. For that backslash is used, which is known as escape backslash. So what it indicates that if I use like AB backslash percent CD, then matches any string or all the string beginning with AB percent CD. Here also same, you can observe. So it matches any string AB slash CD beginning with AB slash CD. If it is AB underscore CD, then we need to use escape character before that, indicating that this underscore is normal character, not the pattern character. So the special pattern characters, to identify that as a normal character, we need to use the backslash escape character before it. That is another case of string operation. Now ordering of the display. 1 minute. So ordering the display of tuples. We have seen the order of display is not fixed. Whatever order given in the or in the table or in the relation, as it is displayed. Means name of the instructor. Whatever the name, it is there, not alphabetically or nothing else. Salary, whatever there, it is not numerically sorted. But if you want to display it in some order, if we want to display it in some sorted order, then it is allowed in the SQL ordering to display the tuples. So the order by clause causes the tuples in the result of a query to appear in the sorted order. Suppose we want to display anything or any particular attribute in sorted order, order by clause is used. For example, list in alphabetic order the name of all instructors in the physics department. List in alphabetic order the name of all instructors in the physics department. So the simple query for this, select name from instructor. So this query already we have seen. When we execute this query, what happens? The name of the instructor will be displayed, but not in any order. Okay, random, whatever the instance is there, accordingly it will be displayed. But if I want to display it with some order, order by name. Order by name means it displays that names in according to the alphabetic order. Now see, by default it gives alphabetic order, that is in ascending. By default it gives the alphabetic order, that is ascending. So from physics I forgot that, where department is physics. So the result of this query display the names in alphabetic order from the department name physics. Now the order by name, I have not used here ASC and DSC. So ASC and DSC, when we need some order. By default ascending order. So SQL provide by default ascending order. If we want to it in descending order, we can use DSC for descending and ASC for ascending. Now in this way, suppose I want this name in the descending order. So order by name DESC. So it display the name from Z to A. Otherwise, by default ascending from A to Z alphabetically. And when we consider numeric 0 to 9 or 9 to 0. Now see, multiple attributes we can apply the order by clause. On multiple attributes we can apply the order by clause. So example, to list the entire instructor relation in descending order of salary. See, list the entire instructor relation in descending order by salary. If multiple instructors have the same salary, then display them in the ascending order of name. What is given here? Find the name entire or list the entire instructor relation in descending order of salary. If multiple instructors have the same salary, suppose 3, 4, 5 instructors have the same salary, then display that tuples in ascending order of the name. So, how to write this query? It's a simple. Select what we want in the result, which attributes, list the entire relation. Entire instructor relation means here we need to use asterisk. Okay, star. So indicating that the entire relation. So select star from instructor. No other predicate is given here. So where is not required? Order by salary. First is that we need to order it by salary in descending order, and the second is that second attribute name in ascending. So order by salary DSC and name ASC. So if multiple that instructors have the same salary, then it display their names in ascending order. So that is in this way, order by salary DSC and name ASC. So we can apply the order by clause on multiple attributes. Now the next one, set operations. So set operations already we have studied in relational algebra. Okay, so here we use name with ASC, correct? Why? Because here two attributes are considered. First, I write here salary as DSC and name, a second attribute is there, and that's why order is given. If you are not giving, it will work, no issue. So try, you can try it for the practical with giving ASC, without giving ASC, and check what happens. Okay? Actually, not necessary to write there ASC, why? It is by default. But it is written to indicate that DSC as a salary and ASC as a name. If yes. So set operations in SQL are same as relational algebra set operations. We have already seen in relational algebra union, intersection, and except. So one by one we are going to see it with direct example. So set operation, the first union we are going to see. Find the courses that taught or ran in fall 2009 or spring 2010 or both. So to solve this query, what we want in the result? Course ID. Okay. What predicate is given here? Spring 2009, that is semester and year, or again spring 2000, sorry, fall 2009 and spring 2010. So semester and year is given here as a predicate. What we want in the result as a course ID. Now we need to identify the relation from where we can evaluate or on which this query will evaluate. Now, how to solve this query? First, we write the query where we find the course ID in fall 2009. Then we write another query in which we write or find out the courses we taught in spring 2010. So the simple query for this is the first query, select course ID from section where semester is equal to fall and year is equal to 2, it is a integer 2009. This is the first query where we got course ID for fall 2009. Now I write the second query for select course ID from section where semester is equal to spring and year is equal to 2010. So this query gives all the courses taught in fall 2009 and this query gives all the courses taught in spring 2010. Okay. So these 3 courses are taught in fall 2019 9 and these 7 courses taught in spring 2010. Now we want all the courses that taught in both or in any one of. That's why we need to use union. Okay, and the result is like this. Now what we observe in this result? See the previous result of subqueries. These 3 courses, 3 and these 7. What here we observe? Duplications are automatically removed. So the union operation automatically remove the duplication. So CS 101, both the semesters are there. In both the subquery result is there. But in the result of union, it appears only once. So the union operation automatically remove the duplicates. But if we want to keep the duplicates, suppose I want to count all the courses, then we need to keep, or in some cases we need to keep the duplicate. So for that, union all operation is used. If we want to retain the duplicates, we must write union all instead of union, and in this way the CS101 appears 2 times in the result. Now how many times that duplicate appears in the result? That is also important. In the union case, the number of duplicates that result is equal to, that appear in the result is equal to total number of duplicates that appear in both the result. Means if suppose a tuple occurs m times in R and n times in S, then it occurs m plus n times in the result of union all. Means for example, that course ID, some course ID CS101, if it appears 4 times in R in the first result, first subquery, and it appears 3 times in the second subquery, then in the result it appears 7 times in union all. It is different for intersect and except depending upon the operation, but in union all it is m plus n times in the result. Similarly, the intersection operation is there. Find the courses that ran in fall 2009 and in spring 2010. In and the operation is there, means that taught in both the semester and year. So for that we use the intersect. First we identify the courses that taught in fall 2009. Then we identify the courses that taught in spring 2010. And then we make the intersection of that. There is a single course which taught in both the semester. So CS101, that is the result. Again, the intersection operation automatically remove the duplicates. If we want to keep the duplicates, we need to use the intersect all in the place of intersect in this way. Now, how many times it appears, or the duplicate values appear? So here, suppose a tuple occurs m times in R and n times in S, then it appears minimum of m comma n. Means, suppose CS101 appears 4 times in first query and appears 3 times in the second subquery. If CS101 appears 4 times in the first subquery and it appears 3 times in the second subquery, then in intersect all, how many times it appears? 4, 3, minimum of it is 3. Means CS101 appears 3 times in the result. Okay, so that is about the intersect and intersect all. Next, except. Find courses that ran in fall 2009 but not in spring 2010. So except operation is used. So these are the courses that taught in fall 2009 but not in spring 2010. CS101 is not here. Why? Because it taught in spring 2010 also. So remaining 2 courses here we get the result. Okay. Now again the same, it remove the duplicates automatically. If we want to keep the duplicates, we need to use the except all instead of in the place of except. Now, how many times duplicates appears in the result? That is, suppose a tuple occurs m times in R and n times in S, then max 0 or m minus n. Max 0 or m minus n means what here? If CS101 appears 4 times in the first result R and 3 times in the first result second subquery S, then how many times it appear in the except all? That is max of 0, 4 minus 3. That is max of 0, 1. What is 1? Means it appears only 1 time in the result. If it is 5 and it is 3, then how many times it appear in the result? 2 times it appear in the result. But if it is opposite, suppose CS101 appears 3 times in the first subquery and appears 5 times in the second subquery, then max of 0, 3 minus 5. That is max of 0, minus 2. Which is maximum among these? Means that will not appear in the result. That will not appear in the result. If there are duplicates and we use except all in that case. So that is about the set operation. That is about the set operations. Now the next one. That is null values. So it is possible for the tuples to have a null value. Okay, we can insert the null value. It is possible, denoted by null. For some of their attribute, null signifies means unknown value or the value does not exist. Unknown value or value does not exist. It is one of the type of attribute. Then for any arithmetic operation, if null value is there, 5 plus null, then it returns the value. Null predicate is used to check for the null values. Find all the instructor whose salary is null. Such kind of query is there. You want to find all instructors whose salary is null. Then in that case, how to write the query? Select name from instructor where salary is null. So is null keyword is available. Check the tuple with null value for some attributes. So for salary attribute here it check if the salary attribute value is null, then it display the name of that instructors. Okay, it's a simple null value, how to check it. Now the next and most important part.